Hey everybody, it's Dave Juno. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad you're here with me on the Meniere's experience, where I talk about my experiences or just things in general so you don't make bad decisions or you can learn from my mistakes. Okay? But, a lot of people in our community, you know, like to think that they're doctors or play doctor. And I'm going to tell you right now, playing doctor isn't like when you were kids. Okay, because me and one of my neighbor girls played a lot of doctor together when we were little, and it's not like that. It's basically taking shit and throwing it against a wall and seeing if it sticks. I know some people don't like it when I swear, but sometimes I can't help it. But this morning, somebody posted something about microdosing GLP1 and how it's helping with their Meniere's disease. I saw it, and I had just woken up, so I kind of ignored it. I was like, well, I'll deal with it later. And then the reports started coming in. People reporting it. People who I know have done years and years and years of research that I trust when they say something. Excuse me. And I trust when they say something. So they're reporting it, and then finally I decided to look into it because I was just couldn't believe it because I do take a GLP-1. I take it for diabetes, which is what it's intended for. When I found out it helps you lose weight as well, people just wanted to lose weight and it went exploding. And that's good because it does help lose weight. But it also sucked because I couldn't get it. But, there is no research behind that. There's nothing behind microdosing GLP1 for Meniere's disease. And I think you would have a hard time finding a doctor to prescribe this for you. Okay? Right now, just talking to my own doctors, they can't really prescribe it unless you're morbidly obese or you have diabetes type 2 or type 1 or if you have diabetes. They can't prescribe it for anything else. They have to say that the person has diabetes or morbidly obese or prove for a lot of cases. I don't know. I mean, things may have changed. This was a couple of last year when I talked about it with my doctor. But here's the skinny on microdosing GLP1. Okay, there is no clinical evidence or published research supporting the use of microdosing GLP1 receptor antagonist like semaglutide, tirzepatide for treating Meniere's disease. Well, microdosing is emerging in a wellness space for weight management, improved insulin sensitivity, reduce system-wide inflammation. Now I can see where people are getting it, inflammation. Okay, but it is not approved for treatment for the inner ear disorder. Okay, there's no evidence. There's no published research about it. So if you're gonna, I don't know how you're gonna get a doctor to convince a doctor to let you microdose um, any of those things because they're all prescriptions to do it. And you can't walk into a compound pharmacy. I've seen this one too. Somebody was looking for Epsilon. It's not even out yet, and they called the pharmacy wanting them to compound it and to see if they could find a doctor who would prescribe it for them. Pharmacist says, I'm not losing my license for this. Okay. So it's got nothing to do with Meniere's disease or anything. Yes, I get the inflammation part. I understand that. But they don't know. They think. They don't know. Okay? These are things that you've got to watch out for. Because a doctor right now is not going to prescribe you semaglutide for inflammation. Because believe it or not, if your blood sugars are normal, between 80 and 110, They're not going to prescribe this for you because your blood sugar is going to go through the roof. That's the thing you got to understand with this stuff. You're thinking, oh, my ears, my ears, my ears. What about your blood sugar? Have you ever had low blood sugar? Have you ever had a drop? It sucks. I've had it drop. One time I had my blood sugar go to like 47 because I didn't eat all day. And I had to go to the hospital where they pumped me up with glucose and all kinds of shit and got it up to 60. And then as the day went on, night went on, it went up higher. So yeah, I've had blood sugar drop. That's what this shit can do to you if you don't do it right. Microdosing, taking it every day. I mean, they do have a thing where they do have a prescription for it that you can take every day. And I might be on the verge of doing that at some point. Because I'm still having my sugar levels are fine, but I'm having problems with the ADHD, not ADHD, A1C. It's still a little high, so we might end up managing it down to that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like with anything, you got to talk to your doctor because it's just not going to happen. Meniere's relevance, although some studies suggest that GPL may help with neurological inflammation, okay, in conditions like migraines, this does not directly translate to managing Meniere's disease symptoms, vertigo, hearing loss, and tinnitus. Okay? So do yourselves a favor, okay? Just because you see something on TikTok or we get those AI flash in the pan ads, don't follow them. Talk to your doctor first because you're taking a big risk, and especially with GPL1. Okay, you're taking a big risk. If you don't have diabetes, you're not overweight. Um, your blood sugar can drop and drop like a rock. Okay, so I don't like seeing that stuff. There was also another one where I saw where somebody was talking about, and I know this was from a site that is an AI generated thing, talking about how they're doing stem cell research for Meniere's disease. And to be honest with you, they've been doing that for years, and they still can't get it done. Dana White had it in 2013. It didn't work for him. He ended up having a sac decompression surgery. Dana White is a guy who founded MMA fighting. He's a great guy. I've never met him personally. I've seen him around sometimes when I was working. So I never met him personally, but he's a great guy. Um, but yeah, he has Meniere's disease, and yeah, he had to have the sac decompression surgery, and that's what didn't cure him. It helped him. Um, so yeah, that's another thing. Stem cell research. They're doing stem cell research and everything, and I think the only thing it's really helping a lot with is people with leukemia and cancer, things like that. That's really helping a lot. I know my friend Patrick was saved by it. But as far as diseases like Meniere's disease and stuff like that, it hasn't really been any progress because if it was, they'd be doing it for everybody. And that's another thing too. If they thought GPL1 was helping people with Meniere's disease and they proved it, the doctors would be giving it to everybody. Okay, they're not. So do yourself a favor. Try not to listen to these people who like to play doctor, because you can get seriously hurt. You can get seriously sick or worse. Okay? And I don't even want to talk about worse. But I could say this. We want you here with us, helping each other. Okay? Is that the person's probably trying to help, but they're just incorrect on everything about it. And that's just wrong. Okay? Now, I mean, people talk about, there was a big thing about people talking about microdosing psilocybin a few years ago. And psilocybin to me is a hallucinogen. When I was a teenager, I had a problem with hallucinogens, so I probably wouldn't try it. But on a psychological basis, microdosing, psilocybin could have some good effects on you. And could help with the depression and anxiety that we do get from Meniere's disease. Is it doing anything specifically for the Meniere's disease? Probably not. But it is helping with, it could be helping with your psychology in your brain, which is a good thing. So I wouldn't recommend it to people, but if that's something you want to try and it's legal in your state, because I know it's not legal here, or maybe it is, I don't know. I don't know. They keep changing everything. They're trying to make weed illegal again in Massachusetts, and I don't see that going anywhere. But depending upon what state you live in, give it a shot. It might make you feel better. I'm not going to get rid of your Meniere's, but could calm your brain down. So yeah, microdosing GLP1, not a good idea. There's really nothing on it, and I think it could do more harm than good. And on that note, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.